breaking news came out of Tyson Fury testing positive for COVID, which due to that, the fight is now officially postponed to a further date that have yet to be announced. However, September is a date they are looking into. Furthermore, old media is now desperately doing damage control in order to save face for the cheating king, Tyson Fury. As you all see above, Dan Rafael reported on Twitter, quote, Tyson Fury was one of the people in his camp who tested positive for COVID, and the fight with Wilder is postponed. New date to be announced. I have been told Fury got one vaccination dose, but never got the second. At least 3 others in camp also positive. End of the quote. You see how Dan Rafael tried to justify Tyson Fury catching COVID, when we all know this is the biggest cap of the year. This is a bigger cap than Jake Paul got your hat moment with Floyd.
Got your hat. Oh. Got your hat.
Because according to Tyson Fury's own promoter, Bob Arum, he revealed that Tyson Fury was already fully vaccinated before heading to the Trilogy with Deontay Wilder. Not just Tyson Fury, but his corner as well. Bob Arum stated a month ago, quote, Tyson Fury and his corner are totally vaccinated. End of the quote. So what Dan Rafael reported is damage control at its finest. It's simply pure damage control. This is how desperate is old media trying to save face for the cheating king Tyson Fury. See, what Dan Rafael reported already been debunked by Bob Arum. Bob didn't say Tyson Fury is yet to be fully vaccinated. In fact, it's the contrary. Bob said Tyson Fury was already fully vaccinated, including his corner.
We tell all our fighters, you guys are fighting for big money, and as promoters are laying out big money. Get yourself vaccinated so you don't contact the COVID. Now, you take the 2 fighters here, Fury is totally vaccinated, and I talked with Shelly Finkel a little while ago, and he said that Wilder's been fully vaccinated, and their corners have been vaccinated. That's taking responsibility. Now, Teofimo, you know, he was off with this Triller thing.
So when Dan Rafael is claiming that Tyson Fury is yet to get his second dose, that's completely BS, and was debunked by Tyson Fury promoter himself, Bob Arum. So Dan Rafael's attempt of saving face for Tyson Fury completely failed. On top of that, it takes a couple weeks for a person to receive his second dose after receiving the first one. Therefore, what Dan Rafael said makes no sense at all, even if you try to claim Tyson Fury only received his first dose. Because since we already know Tyson Fury was fully vaccinated a month ago, according to Bob Arum, that means Tyson Fury received at least the first dose prior to that interview. So, a few weeks later, he should receive the second one. You can't play with that. Therefore, Tyson Fury, even by Dan Rafael's own claim, should be fully vaccinated by now, since Bob Arum made that statement a month ago, which is a further indication that this is nothing but made up lies by Tyson Fury and damage control by old media in order to delay the inevitable that's bound to happen of Deontay Wilder getting his revenge back in blood. Deontay Wilder told Tyson Fury, you cheated and tried to take me away from my family, so I shall return the favor. Come July 24th, I will end your career. In other words, Wilder is trying to send Tyson Fury to heaven or hell. This is why we see Tyson Fury running for the past 18 months, and he's still on the run till this day. See, what makes matter worse for Tyson Fury is that he already announced that he was going to go underground in order to train for Deontay Wilder, which means Tyson Fury was fully isolated from the public. Therefore, how is a person that's fully isolated, him and his team, while being fully vaccinated, him and his team, all of a sudden Tyson Fury gets COVID? Meanwhile, in Mexico, Chavez Sr. is doing exhibitions. He's mixing with the crowds. He's in the middle of his fan base. I mean, literally signing gloves, etc., etc. Some way, somehow, this 60 years old legend that's not isolated, that's mixing with the people, is COVID free. Meanwhile, Fury, while being vaccinated and isolated, receives a COVID attack. Right after news came out of Tyson Fury getting beat up in sparring, then we see Tyson Fury with a busted lips, busted face, black eyes, etc., etc. We see Tyson Fury look fat and out of shape, reminiscent to when Tyson Fury pulled out of the Klitschko rematch. And that's exactly what I told you guys Tyson Fury was gonna do when I saw him all fat and out of shape at the press conference. I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. I told you guys Tyson Fury, all the guilt of him cheating Deontay Wilder is haunting him leading up to the Trilogy. And he's gonna do his best to pull out of the Trilogy, which is exactly what he did. We constantly hear Tyson Fury team, from Ricky Hatton to John Fury, Tyson Fury's own father, tell Tyson Fury to pull out of the Deontay Wilder Trilogy. They completely changed their tone on the Trilogy with Wilder. They expressed how dangerous is Deontay Wilder and how vulnerable is Tyson Fury leading up to the Trilogy. If you may wonder why, it's because Tyson Fury can no longer cheat. Haven't you guys noticed ever since Tyson Fury method of cheating got exposed by us new media, Tyson Fury have been running for his life for the past 18 months and he's still on the run to this day. So if I'm Deontay Wilder, I want proof that Tyson Fury had COVID, because it's always something with Tyson Fury. First, it was the Wild Boar Gate, then Glove Gate, then the Arbitration Gate, and now a COVID Gate. So what's next? Are we heading to the Depression Gate? That remains to be seen. But for the meantime, Deontay Wilder needs to request and pay for his own COVID testing agency in order to test Tyson Fury. Because you really can't trust ESPN, since all of their fighters are claiming COVID to pull out of the fight. With that being said, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.